So today we're going to be talking about the difference between literary devices and literary elements. Sometimes these two terms are mistakenly used interchangeably, but they actually refer to two completely different things, although they are connected. First, we'll start by looking at some examples of literary devices. Generally speaking, literary devices are used by writers to convey something to the reader, like a theme. Three of the most common devices that you'll encounter in literature are similes, metaphors, and personification. There are other devices, of course, that authors use, but for now we'll just look at these three common examples. So what are they? Well, to start, similes and metaphors are very similar. They are both used to compare things, except similes use explicit language such as like and as. In the picture, you can see that the guy in the red shirt says, "You're as skinny as a rail." Now, similes are different from metaphors in that metaphors only imply a comparison between two things by not using words like or as. As we can see in this example, the guy in the blue shirt says, "You're a mountain." Now, you can turn any simile into a metaphor by removing like or as. And if you'll notice, this illustration also employs personification. These two guys are examples of personification because they are personifying similes and metaphors. Now, these are devices used by authors to convey ideas to their audience. So, how are they different from elements? In order to understand elements, we have to go back to these two dudes. The elements of this illustration would be anything that is inherent in it. And the same is true of literature. Literature contains characters, setting, dialogue, and other characteristics that are inherent in the story. So let's look at some of the elements in this illustration. In order to identify these elements, all you have to do is look at what you see. So here are some of the elements of this illustration. For example, we've got the red shirt worn by the guy on the left. That would be an element of this illustration, as well as the blue shirt that's worn by the guy on the right, and the letter S that's on the red shirt and the letter M that's on the blue shirt, as well as the height difference between them, and the fact that the guy on the right has hair and the guy on the left has no hair. The guy on the right is skinny and the guy on the left is big. These are examples of literary elements. As we can see, they're different from devices because they are inherent parts of a narrative, whereas devices are tools and techniques used by authors to convey ideas or themes. Elements can be used as devices, but they are not one and the same.